ChatGPT's new deep research can analyze your spreadsheets, while Operator, it can control your spreadsheets. There's a whole bunch of new ChatGPT features that are unlocking cool spreadsheet stuff. Whether you're on ChatGPT's free plan or their $200 a month plan, I know, I'll let you decide, but let's jump on in to Excel formulas. Really the chicken parm of AI use cases. Let me show you how hustling hard formulas has gotten easier, and then I'll show you how to use Operator to take over your spreadsheet and write those formulas for you. Now my problem, I can tell you, it's usually not knowing what formula to even use, so I don't even know how to formulate the question. Here's an Excel file I just got from my boss, Jonathan Master, founder of an energy drink company you may have heard of. Anyway, he just gave me this Excel file. So 2 data sets, Japanese pachinko parlors sorted by property debt, and vending machines in Western Tokyo sorted by Monster Energy drink sales. Because it turns out he's got a surprise meeting coming up with some huge Japanese investors that we need to impress in the next 15 minutes. Now what I need to do for each parlor, I need to find the highest sales vending machine with the same first part of this postal code. So postal code prefix matches, but I just want the one that sells the most, Monster. Very common scenario, you get it, you've been there. Now, you can upload the Excel file directly to ChatGPT, but I find when you do, it doesn't do a good job of pulling the details like sheet names, which are necessary to have a working formula. Actually, a pretty big ChatGPT tip is never give it more info than it needs to do a job, or you'll run the risk of confusing it. So I'll show you what I do instead. Here's the prompt. Write me a formula to match each pachinko parlor record to the vending machine with a matching first part of the postal code. And in the case of multiple matches, just give me the one vending machine with the highest total Monster volume. Now, here's what I started doing different lately. Here's an example record from the pachinko parlor sheet. I just grab the first couple rows, I include the headers, and I say, here's an example record from the pachinko parlor sheet named pachinko parlors. It's important you call out the sheet name, since that's part of the formula, and then I paste that data, and I do the same for the other sheet. Here we go. By the way, if you are a business user like Monster, always use the ChatGPT team plan for the added data protection. Goodness knows, the last thing I need is this spreadsheet getting into the wrong people's, okay. Now, you'll notice it's thinking about it. That's because I'm using the new O3 mini model. In my testing, I found this to be much better at complex formulas than the previous 4.0 model. And according to benchmarks, it cuts the hallucination rate in half, so it's less likely to make stuff up. And there's even a version of that O3 mini model that you can get on the free ChatGPT plan. Nice. All right, here we go. Gave us a formula. I'll copy paste that in here, fill the formula down. I don't know if that's right or not. Let's look at an example here. It pulled 315. That's this one. And yeah, presumably it's the highest sales volume. And yeah, it's pretty high on the list, so it's probably highest sales volume for this postal code prefix 143 and 143. But what if I didn't want to do all that copying and pasting? What if instead I came over here and gave this the exact same instruction and pointed it to the workbook in Excel Online, and I hit go? This is ChatGPT Operator, now a couple months old and only available on the $200 per month plan. I know this video has a sponsor, but check this out. It's literally using Excel Online. Look at that little guy go. In fact, if I look at the same sheet, I can see it navigating around just like a human user would. Weird, okay? But try this one on. You can run multiple operators simultaneously. Okay, nobody move, look at this. Make this spreadsheet more visually appealing. Don't move anything around or change the data, just style it in a more appealing way. And off it goes. Same sheet it's hopping into. If I look at the sheet, here, look at this. You can see both of them just working away. And if you think about this, it is kind of a mind-blowingly different way to learn Excel. If I'm stuck on, say, a formula, Operator, it can take control and do it for me as I watch. And actually, at any point in time, I can click into this window and take back control myself. Now, we're working with a public Excel file here, but it can even work with my internal files. I just have to take control to log the operator in. Should go without saying, but just be mindful if you do that of sensitive data. Actually, the plan you can buy Operator on right now, the Pro plan, doesn't come with the same data protections as the Team plan does. But the real question, does it actually work? Did it actually succeed? All right, it's come back with a question. May I submit the formula, sir? Yes, I tested it earlier, and the answer to did it actually do it right was, kinda. Here's what it looked like. It fumbled around a bit, changed the names actually of a couple of the headings for some reason, then used a formula that seemingly got some of them right, but not all. Now the reality is I could hop in here and correct it. In fact, if you're using this for repeating tasks, I can hop in, tell it exactly how to do each of those steps, hold its hand a bit, and then at the end of the workflow, Operator asks if you want to save that workflow. And then the next time it goes through, it's only gonna do the steps that it actually did last time. So there's an element of learning and being able to do it better the next time, so it makes the hand holding worthwhile. Okay, I'm just gonna let these little guys work in the background and we'll come back and see how they did. So it is definitely not perfect today, Operator. But when it is good enough and you'll have the ability to set any number of operators loose to go handle tasks in spreadsheets for you or recurring tasks that it already knows how to do, man, that is gonna change things, right? Right? Getting an email? It's the investors again. I gotta take this. So they need to merge some data into a single report combined to, okay, that's a job for a macro. Let's talk macros. Yeah, okay, so here's the situation is there's been a recall on some of the horse adrenochrome we use in our Manster drinks. I'll show you here, I've got a list of the bad ingredient orders, but my investor needs a combined CSV report they can upload to their dispatch app. They've got a field service app they wanna upload this to. So in that CSV, they want the name of the supplier, the sum of what we paid for the bad ingredients, and their bank account number. Just regular business stuff. Now you may be an Excel macro, a VBA wizard. That ain't me, I'm not. So I'm gonna let ChatGPT, specifically the new O3 model, write me a macro to combine those 3 data sets into a single CSV. So like last time, I'll give it the first row of data for each sheet as an example, being sure to include the sheet name. Then I'm gonna tell it, write a macro to combine the following fields into a single new sheet. Here are examples from each of the sheets. And last, actually, tell it which version of Excel you're using because scripting libraries look a little different on each. I learned that because I'm using Excel on Mac. I'm 7 minutes into a video about a guy that uses Excel on Mac? Okay, all right, it didn't take long. Here's our macro. Let's just copy it. Developer, yes. I am a macro expert. How do you do, fellow kids? Paste it, run it. Yeah, supplier name, order amount, and account number. First shot, man. I can't tell you how much of a fist fight it can be to get ChatGPT to make macros, but in my experience the last month or so, it is way better with the new O3 mini model. I'm using the high compute version. On the free version, you can use the low compute. Just know that your computer will be smaller than mine. Okay, sent off that report. It's always worth considering if there are even more advanced Excel features that you don't understand how to use. Let ChatGPT help you use them for the first time. Speaking of, how are little operator friends doing? Okay, Design Wizard is done. Let's see how they did. Whoa, very nice. Okay, not the most consistent. The real question is what in the world's going on with the other one? All right, you're still working. I mean, bless its little heart. It really does have all the energy of the intern who will try something unsuccessfully all afternoon before asking for help. Okay, tell me, why did you spend so much time spinning your wheels? I know they say there's no such thing as dumb questions, but could you show me your degree? Okay, they said the report looks great, but they don't use Excel desktop, so they need the macro and Office scripts. Grown, okay, Office scripts. It's like macros, but for Excel Online. But we have the technology for this. I just asked it to do the exact same thing, create an Office script, but this one, it wasn't quite as clean. It ended up throwing a couple of errors when I ran the script that it provided. Now, when that happens, because it is common, just give it the error, tell it to fix it. If I scroll through this, you'll see here it took 2 tries before we eventually got the working version. Here are the 3 columns that we wanted. And for perspective, this was like 90 seconds of work. And the cool thing with Office scripts is you can also share them. So I can save this script, share it with the investors. Okay, operator just finished. Look at this. It worked. It worked for 9 minutes on a solution. Before asking if it had permission to fill the formula down to the other cells, I said yes. It then worked for 7 seconds, evidently failing to apply the formula to the other cells. But the one answer, I actually think it's kind of right. Let's see. For postal code 143, 202 is the highest volume machine, is the highest volume machine. Are you still here? Go home. Okay, now, another super interesting new ChatGPT feature that may impact your spreadsheeting, I love this one, recurring tasks. There aren't, admittedly, a ton of great use cases for this feature yet. The recurring tasks, all it does is it just adds a message to a conversation on a recurring basis. Check this out though, because it could be a great spreadsheet creating machine. I'm gonna say, give me the current Bitcoin price each Monday, I don't know, 8 a.m. Pacific. Now if I come up here, I can see in tasks, now that is set to run every Monday. So the most useful thing for me that it can do right now is pull a time-sensitive thing from a public website via its built-in browsing functionality, then from time to time, roll all that stuff up into a spreadsheet for me. Now we're actually about to launch Manster After Dark, a new energy drink to help you get to sleep faster, but it's like a waking sleep. People report being more alert in their dreams, higher nighttime test scores, all that stuff. But the price of the horse tranquilizer ingredient we have to use, it has been off the charts lately. Look at this, for 3 milliliters? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna tell ChatGPT, pull the price from this site, I don't know, every day at 8 a.m. Now here it is up in my recurring tasks. Then when I need a roll up of the prices, I come in here, I say, put it in a spreadsheet, boss. Actually, just to double check, what's the price right now? Let's make sure this is actually working, right? Oh, look at that, 5% off auto ship program. So it's kind of like a version of web scraping that'll roll any data into a spreadsheet for you, but much more accessible than normal scraping. And if you enable notifications on the ChatGPT app on your phone, you can actually get pinged each time. Where's my phone? You can get pinged every time that it runs if you want. But the piece de resistance for me is ChatGPT's new deep research, which, spoiler alert, works on spreadsheets. It can research spreadsheets, nerd alert, but first, a tool that'll make your spreadsheet automation, take it to new heights. Is this video sponsor LiveFlow? Can you roll the music, please? Here's the thing. You know how to automate your data that's already in your spreadsheets, but oftentimes the problem is just getting the data in there automatically. This is what LiveFlow does. It lets you take financial data, even full reports from your QuickBooks or Xero accounting files, syncs that stuff in one time or automatically on an ongoing basis, so that all the use cases we're going through here, building macros, using ChatGPT operator, deep research, so good. You can pull your company's real financial data into those workflows. Hang on, you big brain idea alert? Run a deep research on your financial data every week? Okay, it works for both Excel and Google Sheets. In fact, I'll show you right here. I've got my LiveFlow connector up on me ribbon. Look how easy this is. Pop it out, all sorts of financial reports, various settings. Let's run a big old balance sheet here. Look at that big boy. Again, I can pull that in once or pull the data in live on an updating ongoing basis. And for bigger companies, check out consolidations, where you can roll up the financial data of several companies at a time, even if the chart of accounts don't match. Imagine building consolidations all of your rolled up financial data into these workflows. Massive time saver. Book a demo over at liveflow.com/Jason. You got nothing to lose. Check it out, hit them up for a chat. It's a huge upgrade to your spreadsheets, and thank you to LiveFlow for paying for my ChatGPT Pro subscription. Okay, without further ado, deep research. This is the big one. In fact, if you made it this far, kindly hit like and consider subscribing. We're a new channel. Deep research is making waves in the big brain scientific community, with PhD level folks claiming it can sometimes turn out PhD level reports. Basically, you tell it what to research, it can pull stuff from the web, or you give it some of your own data, and it'll work for up to 10 minutes and come back with a 5 to 10 page write-up. It is your very own research assistant in your pocket. Because every day you're being asked to be an expert in something new. Just last month, guess who? Old Jonathan Manster bursts into my office, says he needs a detailed breakdown of high-profile men who changed their identities and successfully hid them until dying of natural causes. Things have cooled off. We're all good now. But for us, it can be a second set of eyes on a spreadsheet. Check out this wild example. I fed it the pachinko parlor and vending machine data we looked at earlier. Here's the prompt. Assess these vending machine and pachinko parlors to help me understand potential locations where I should set up additional vending machines in West Tokyo. Hit go, make yourself some coffee, tell mom she needs to see this. 11 minutes later, check this out. Big ol' report. We're talking foot traffic patterns in parlors, high traffic hotspots. Several areas see exceptionally high daily visitors. Postal code 170 sees 5880 a day. Is that right? It was 170. Let's find the 170s. Okay, I guess we'll have to add them up. 300, or 1500, 1400. I know there's a better way to do this. Another 1,000, another 1,500. I think that checks out. Okay, back to the report. Many of these hotspots have clusters of pachinko parlors, some low traffic areas. High density pachinko zones correspond to the largest pools of potential vending customers. All right, maybe a little obvious. Here we go. Highest grossing location is postal prefix 145. High opportunity locations, area 170 is underserved, 171 and 180. Even areas without pachinko, but high vending success. I did some more digging into the data and it it checks out. Is it to the highest level of what an analyst would do? Maybe not. But is it better than the analysis that often doesn't happen at all? Almost certainly. Now, to be clear, deep research, it is part of the $200 a month plan, and that is a lot. For reference, Perplexity, the free AI research tool, lets you do up to 5 free deep research queries per day, and it is very good, but it doesn't work with spreadsheets. Late breaking news, an update here as we're recording this. The deep research button has started appearing on non-pro accounts. Look at this. This is a team account of mine, not a pro account. It's giving me 10 free searches for the month without having to buy the $200 a month plan. Where'd mom go? Come back. Unsure if this will stick around, but give it a try because time is of the essence. And deep research can get you to answers faster and better because the sirens outside keep getting louder and it is very distracting. One more concept I wanna show you about using AI to visualize your data. Fair warning, this is gonna get pretty sci-fi. This one actually isn't about the spreadsheet app so much as taking your spreadsheet data and giving you creative new ways to see it. So here's a scenario. Your boss, Jonathan Manster's been missing for 3 weeks, and the Japanese investors say they're gonna call an operator if you can't find him within the next 24 hours. First of all, guys, ChatGPT has their own operators now. Let's not make this any more painful than it needs to be. Trust me, you're gonna thank me when you see how much bounty hunters charge for the same thing. Now, we can spreadsheet our way out of this, folks. Let's say you're staring down a mountain of esoteric, potentially fraudulent financial data so inscrutable that even looking at one cell makes you break out in stress hives. You haven't seen anyone else from your company in weeks. A lawyer keeps calling you, screaming about how you're the new CEO. And you're pretty sure every time you go to the bathroom, you hear someone whispering Japanese from the ceiling. Just take a breath. All in today's work, that's life being the most productive person on your team, you know? We are going to dazzle them to de-escalate the situation, and we're gonna use AI to program a website. I told you it's gonna get sci-fi. Use AI to program a website to visualize your data, and it is honestly easy as can be. Takes less than 90 seconds. Now, while ChatGPT can write the code for you, I'm gonna point you to another AI tool called Claude. The reason being, Claude will both write and run the code for you. ChatGPT can create it but not run it, and Claude even lets you share your project with other people so they can see what you made. Take a look. I'm inside Claude, and I'm attaching this Excel file. It's a sheet with a few company medical expenses, small incidental stuff. Now I'm gonna tell it, code a modern website to help me explore this attached Excel data. First, it'll extract the data from the Excel file. Then over on the right-hand side, it generates the code, takes a few minutes, and when it's done, it renders the full site to play with on the right-hand side. Look at this. Here's the data from the Excel file we gave it. We got some charts, it's broken out by year down here. You can even filter it by year. Look at this, search by name. How clean is that? But I think the coolest part is I can come back over here and I can chat with it more. I can tell it to make changes, change the colors, add a button, switch this to a slider, I don't know. Tell it how to build the visualization, and then when you like it, then come down here, hit publish, and now anyone, even non-Claude users, can see the app that you just made. Any old app. So you got, I don't know, what do you have data for? You got a spreadsheet tracking company Bitcoin lost on underground karaoke tournaments, and you need to connect them with like the related Malaysian legal bills. You get the idea. You're not seeing past the numbers anymore. You're in the numbers. And once you're in the right headspace, take it from me, there is always a way out. Right, Takayama-san? It's just nice to see a coworker again.